I'm Carrie Williams with Advocacy America. The urban leaders in the environmental movement of America are starting their efforts right here in Atlanta, Georgia's Proctor Creek. Proctor Creek is one of 19 designated areas across the country that are being restored and revitalized by empowering communities to own their creeks and be able to benefit from access to them. Urban leaders in the environmental movement, also known as ULEMA, have found a fascinating way to get urban leaders' attention. They call it green gatherings. And green gatherings have just a little bit of jazz to them. Come take a look at a recent green gathering. As you could hear, that jazzy note to the green gatherings is part of what brings that cultural piece to this community engagement framework, which is what urban leaders in the environmental movement are all about. Urban Leaders in the Environmental Movement is a campaign or an initiative of Advocacy America. And the Green Gathering captures not only that essence and quality of culture where neighborhood, community, faith, and small business leaders can really be connected to the issues at hand, but also provides a framework for the community engagement to take place. The other component to a green gathering, besides the culture and community engagement, is the sense of community that it brings and calls forth, so that it's not just a meeting and it's not just some party. It really is intentionally designed to help urban leaders address issues that are important and critical to their communities. We were fortunate enough to be able to interview one of these urban leaders that's been very instrumental in the work regarding Proctor Creek at the Green Gathering. His name, Al Bartel. Al, you're here tonight at the Green Gathering at
Yes.
Queen of Sheba
Yes.
with Max Isaacs and Janon, Jazz Collaborative.
Yes.
And this whole Green Gathering concept being kind of a focal point for urban leaders getting involved in the environmental movement
Yes.
of America.
Yes.
Could you tell us just a little bit about this environmental movement of America and what has you be so committed to urban leaders being involved?
Well, we knew that suburban leaders and rural leaders are naturally involved in the environmental movement, but urban leaders are not. You know, urban leaders are dealing with dilapidated homes, concrete, streets, small businesses that are not working, housing that's not working, health issues, and the environment is a great way to pull all that together, to look at green space, how that works, green gardens, impacting food deserts, impacting stormwater runoff, and just having the whole green environment be available in urban communities. But we wanted to see what would be the best way to communicate that. And being in collaboration with the Jazz Collaborative and the jazz community is a great way to get the word out and have people start mingling together and understanding what the environmental movement is all about from an urban perspective.
Great. Well, recently, Stephanie Stecky Benfield, who
Yes.
is with the Mayor's Office of Sustainability,
Yes.
communicated about where she thought the progress of the city of Atlanta was in terms of sustainability. And her assessment was that Atlanta has come a long way and is
Right.
becoming a top tier city internationally
Yes.
in this area of sustainability. So what does that really mean for the communities of Atlanta?
Sure. Well, you can't be a top tier city globally unless you have an extraordinarily reliable, rich environmental movement. So the mayor's office has bought into the idea of getting urban leaders to the forefront of the environmental movement. And Stephanie is his point person on making that happen. So she's been communicating with neighborhood leaders, community leaders, faith leaders, and small business leaders to see what kind of partnerships can be made in different parts of the city and how we can begin to let the global community know that Atlanta is a 21st century environmental city.
I think we got time for one more question.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out some terms to you, and then you just pick something that you'd like to share with us about.
Sure,
okay?
absolutely.
Because there's a lot going on right now.
A lot going on.
Especially in the area of Proctor Creek and
Yes.
in this urban waters movement.
Right.
So there's the Proctor Creek Community Partnership, there's the Urban Waters Federal Partnership, there's the Proctor Creek Planning Commission, and then there's the Proctor Creek Stewardship Council.
Sure. So Proctor Creek is one of the watersheds in Atlanta. There's 7 of them. And the urban waters movement was clear about we gotta have urban environments be alive and well and nurturing and get urban leaders involved in the environmental movement and get them involved with lakes and streams and creeks is a great way to do that. And it's called the Urban Waters Movement. So they picked the Proctor Creek Watershed Basin as a federally designated initiative. And the mayor bought in on the concept, and him and the city council created the Proctor Creek Planning Commission. And so the reason they did that was because the Proctor Creek Stewardship Council have been saying all along, we have to have an accountability from the city. The community is alive and involved in the movement, but we don't have an accountability from the city. So the Proctor Creek Stewardship Council took on having the city come up with the Proctor Creek Planning Commission. And the Proctor Creek Community Partnership has taken on having neighborhood leaders, community leaders, faith leaders, and small business leaders get involved in the environmental movement. So the Proctor Creek Watershed Basin is a model for that kind of collaborative, and we're looking forward to making it happen.
Well, we look forward to seeing you taking this around the country and getting other cities and their urban leaders involved in this environmental movement. And thank you for being such a stand for green gatherings.
You're welcome. We love the Green Gatherings concept.
Al Bartel is a certified mediator in the area of public policy management. And he's passionate about neighborhood, community, faith, and small business leaders being included in the public policy process to the same degree as special interest groups, lobbyists, and corporations. His work with the Proctor Creek residents and communities has been significant, and he has facilitated many roundtable discussions and development sessions for the residents and its communities. The work is now going forward in the Proctor Creek Community Partnership. Here, on the banks of Proctor Creek, we are at Grove Park. Recently, there was a Proctor Creek Community Showcase that got held here, and Janan was featured. She's a jazz artist that's been passionate about this issue of the environment and about social issues of our community and having them expressed through jazz. And she is the founder of the Jazz Collaborative. We were able to interview her on one of her breaks at the Green Gathering and have her share with us a little bit about why jazz is so critical to creating that hope for change. So Janan, the Jazz Collaborative, here at Queen of Sheba with Mac Isaacs and the Queen of Sheba House Band. All these great artists coming in to jam with you guys. And we're in the Green Gathering for the environmental movement, urban leaders. And you are an urban leader. in the environmental movement and what the Jazz Collaborative stands for in terms of communities coming together and really supporting one another in hard, tough issues like the environment. Just share a little bit about the collaborative and what had you start that movement yourself.
Well, the issues that had me form the Jazz Collaborative was basically my awareness of what was going on in the neighborhoods and communities, and not enough awareness to bring some action from the neighborhoods and communities. So I thought, what is the best way to reach people than through the arts, through the culture? And jazz certainly has been known for bringing awareness to the culture throughout time. So I went to some of the musicians that I know and I said, this is what I'm interested in bringing to the forefront. Would you be willing to be a part of this? And many of the musicians have other interests that they participate in that involve the environment and what's going on in the community and the neighborhoods. They don't bring it to the forefront as much as they would like to because they didn't have a format in which to do it. And the Jazz Collaborative allows that. So through the culture, we're able to bring people together from all different ethnic backgrounds, youth and the vintage of the music, and just party and jam and bring awareness at the same time to everyone.
Yeah. So this green gathering concept has got this cultural piece, it's got this kind of community engagement piece. It's like where all of these neighborhood community leaders can actually kind of, have some place where they can engage around this issue, and at the same time, it's like just, folks, having fun together
Yes.
and just sharing with one another. So I really want to acknowledge you for being the kind of leader that would take on something like this in the face of really very little agreement and making it so successful, having everybody love the music so much. And one of the songs you sang tonight was, there's a hope called change. Share with us just a little bit about what had you write that song.
Well, again, I wanted to bring awareness to what's going on, and what better way than, we need to always have hope that things can be better than what they were. And as soon as you bring different people together from different ethnic backgrounds, you have an opportunity to bring change to everyone, not just one particular group of people. And I definitely want to take a moment, if I could, to thank all of those that are participating in making this happen, because we start out with a conversation and now it's real, it's happening, and you can see the smiles on everybody's faces, and they're saying, yeah, I want to be a part of that, and the musicians are saying, yeah, I want to be a part of that. So I'm so excited about this whole effort, about being able to collaborate with the Green Gathering and being able to just have everybody be one together.
Well, you are a big part of why that's happening.
Yes.
Thank you, Janelle.
You're so welcome.
Let's talk about legacies for family trees, equality, all men are free. Water that flows through the creek, words that everyone can speak, and culture full of city, rising up so pretty. Yeah.
combination of jazz musicians and groups that you are hearing at this Green Gathering is in part due to the leadership of Mac Isaacs. Mac is an up-and-coming jazz saxophonist in the Atlanta metropolitan area, and his performances at Queen of Sheba leave that place crowded every Thursday night. We were able to have Mac share with us what it is about jazz. What is that philosophy about jazz that makes it so connected and so valuable to our lives?
So yeah, the issues of jazz that really resonate with me, it started a little in a misguided direction, I'll admit it. Because a lot of people hear jazz and they think that you can, do whatever you want to do. Freedom is the buzzword, and that's true. But there's freedom in constraints, so to speak, in structure, as Branford Marsalis says. So that's what I really dig about it now. And I think it has to do with this Newtonian idea that matter can't be created or destroyed. We're only kind of jumping around, dancing to and from 12 different notes. But jazz has this, I think it's definitely a positivity and an optimism that I can really get behind. As far as my relationship with Janan, I've been seeing her on the jazz scene for about 2.5, 3 years now. I know she's been here for much longer. But I've always, been very friendly with her, and she thought that we would be a good match, and I think it is, as far as these monthly gatherings that she's bringing here. And but this jam session's been going on for 15 years, and when I had the opportunity to lead it about 2 years ago, I thought it was an excellent, opportunity for me, and it's been really, really wonderful, not only personally but musically, that's for sure.
Well, I know you're an ambassador for the culture, and you're an ambassador for the whole ideals that encompass jazz, as you were saying. It's freedom, but it's inside a kind of a communal type of a freedom and an expression that is on this positive note. And today we're still inside Black History Month, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., when he visited Berlin back in 1964, gave this speech about the importance of jazz. And I just want to get your take on something that he said at that time. He said, everybody has the blues. Everybody longs for meaning. That everybody needs to love and be loved. Everybody needs to be happy and clap their hands. Everybody longs for faith. And in music, especially this broad category called jazz, there is a stepping stone towards all of these. Is that your experience?
It's a stepping stone towards all of these. All of what, can I ask?
All of these, as in everybody needs to be happy.
Oh,
everybody needs to love and be loved.
Oh, for sure.
And that everybody has the blues.
Yeah, well, this is blues-based music. That's where it comes from. And Sunday nights in Congo Square around 1900, that's where it all started. And I was reading this Dostoevsky essay the other day. Even like in a prison in Siberia, we still have independence of thought. Was his line. We still have a positivity that we can have, and that's I don't know if I would be strong enough back then. Sunday evenings to take part in Congress. Well, I probably would, but I agree with that. That's for sure. We've evolved in the sense of it's not only the blues now, but the good parts you can always taste that seasoning. He was right on, as per usual.
Thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank
More
you.
to come.
Cool, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Urban leaders in the environmental movement of America are looking forward to holding more green gatherings throughout this coming year because of the critical need for urban leaders to become more involved in their urban centers and their urban waters.
Thank you.